How's the weekly? Honestly, I don't know. It just came out. You know what I could do? It's nice to have like an idea, a framework to think about the weekly. Let's go Twitter Super Auto Pets and see if they introduced this weekly here. Last week they introduced it with a little, they were like, check it out, Scooty made the weekly. Scooty did the dub. Barry pawned the dip. I don't think they've introduced it this week, unfortunately. Hey, Mad Dog Nation, by the way, thank you for the gifted subscriptions. Let's do, you know what? Just load me up. Thank you again, Mad Dog Nation. Thank you. We'll figure it out on the fly, as one is wont to do. By the way, hello, Daniel. Hello. Ants, pills, chocolate, caterpillars, Egyptian vulture, mongoose. It's a toy-themed weekly. Man, we've never had a 10-piece with a squirrel, huh? Send me. That may be like a half geek. I think that's fair. A mongoose? An ancient man? How about this? How about this? And then we just chill. Isn't Mongoose a BMX bike? Who are you, Darren Brown? Is all that Darren Brown stuff real? For those not in the know, Darren Brown is a British... What would you even call him? He's like a magician slash mentalist, but isn't a mentalist somebody who solves crime? Because they had that show on TV called The Mentalist. And then don't even get me started, because right after The Mentalist came out, there was a show called The Alienist. And I was like, I like X-Files, I should watch this. And then it's literally just it's like a psychiatrist or something like that. There's no aliens in sight. There's nobody going gleep, gloop, gleep, gloop. Anyway, a mentalist. Okay. So he does all these tricks. I remember one of the tricks that he did was he did a simultaneous exhibition in chess. So he played like 12 grandmasters and 1 international master or something like that, and he had a winning record. How did he do it? Well, after it happened, he revealed that he just remembered, because you're playing like half as white, half as black, and then there's just 1 extra table. He remembered the move that the grandmaster played as white, and then when he got around to the other side of the table, he played that move against the table that was on the opposite side. So basically, he was just having them play each other, and then he just beat the last guy, which is enough of a flex on its own. But then some of the Darren Brown stuff is crazy. Like the one where he goes to the horse racing track, and he loses on his bets, but then he goes to the windows and just convinces them to give him the money anyway. They're like, your horse didn't win the race. And he's like, yeah, me granddad was always a winner. That's why I came to this window. Like he's like smacking the crap out of the table and stuff like that. And then the lady's just like, okay, here's your money. I'm like, I don't know if that's real, man. Or if that's like some Chris Angel stuff. I believe in the chess one. Then he had that show that was like, he convinced someone to be like a bank robber, like a bunch of people did the bank robbery together. I don't know, man. I'm just saying he couldn't trick me. He couldn't trick me into robbing a bank. That's scary. We don't have any toys yet, so don't worry about that. Hey, Bat is pretty good. Is there bison this week? None bison left beef? Please get rid of the splish splash background. You know what? You're a 3-4. Go ahead. You're not so bad. Bat is always pretty good. Go rob a bank right now. No, you have to say it in a British accent. Go rob a bank right now. Darren Brown's like, do you like lunch? Do you like lunch? Do you like robbing banks? Do you like lunch? Do you want some lunch? You want some lunch? You want some lunch? You want to rob a bank? You want some lunch? What's your favorite lunch? I want you to imagine your favorite lunch. Now rob this bank. And everybody's like, okay, give me your money. Wait, what am I doing? Like there's the one with Simon Pegg where he's like, Simon, what do you want for your birthday? And he's like, a cashmere sweater. And then he talks to him for like 15 seconds. And then he's like, Simon, what do you want for your birthday now? And he's like, I want a red BMX bike. And Darren he's like, see, I told you wanted a BMX bike. And he's like, I don't even know I want a BMX bike. It's scary. I'm just saying, I don't know if it's real. It's a lot of work for the librarian to put together this compilation. Level up. You don't do anything yet, but level up. Okay. On the hurt, you do damage back. Sell this mosquito. Get one of you out here. Any new juicy financial tips on TikTok lately? Not that I've seen. But the S&P 500 is almost back at all-time highs, so I'm sure that we're about to get a... I mean, it's going to be a new golden era for, like, absolutely horrible financial advice, I'm sure. I mean, the only one that I can think of right now is, like, Elon Musk somehow thinking that people are going to give their banking information to his app when it doesn't even work half the time to begin with. Like, that's just... surprising to me that he's like, this is going to be... I think he said that if everything goes right, the X app could do 50% of all global financial transaction volume, which was just like... seems surprising to me. It seems like a pretty ambitious number, but I don't work in the industry, so maybe he knows something I don't know. Tomo, you guys... listen, buddy, I know you want to get petted right now. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what? Why don't you come up to the front here? We'll just go stork a pill. Sure. But you gotta relax a little bit, man. You hear him? That's him smacking his tail into my garbage can. Get smoked. Well, give me a... oh, you're stronger than I thought you would be. Thoughts on Taylor Swift's tour saving the U.S. from an economic depression? Good for her. Imagine what she could... don't say it. I was going to say imagine what she could do if her music was good. But that's not what I mean. I was just trying to rile people up. It's the call of the void inside of myself. I was joking! I only know like 3 of her songs. We've been through this before. I probably actually know like 8 of her songs, but that's not that many considering how many she got. I know, it's me. I'm the problem, it's me. I know when she did that, this is the one that even Swifties are like, let's just forget about this one. The one that she did with Brandon Urie from Panic at the Disco. And that's me, me, me. Hoo, hoo. I know that one. Consider yourself warned by the Swifties. Listen, I got all the Slint fans that have my back, and also New Jeans. I'm a big New Jeans guy now, so I got the K-pop fans at my back. All 10 of us, all 10 Slint fans, who were like, hey, okay, I've got 45 minutes to defend you online in between cooking dinner and doing the dishes. There's dozens of us. Eats food. Why does this sound like green text? Eats food. Give 3 random friends plus 1 attack. Put me over here. How hard is it to win 10 in a row? Well, how hard is it to win the jackpot on a slot machine at a Las Vegas casino, Daniel? It's easy. You just pull the lever, right? Eats food. Give 3 random friends plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. I don't know, man. Like, I'm about to lose my mind up in here, up in here. I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna try to seal pill it. I just don't see Egyptian vulture working out for me here. Guys, I won't be able to watch the stream for a week. I'm going to college. Can I just say that I love that for you? I'm definitely smoked on this one. Egg Extra battery. Thank you for the gifted subscription. Thank you, thank you. Have fun in college. If I could give you some advice for college, maybe it's not going to be that popular, or maybe it is. When I think back to college, I'm not one of those guys who's like no regrets. Because I think that's just, if you live life properly, you have to make choices. Those choices put you on a path that closes off another path to you. There's no way to make a perfect decision looking forward. You can only make perfect decisions looking back. I think it's very normal to have regrets. It doesn't mean you have to be like, oh, they ruined my life, but you can have regrets and use that as an opportunity for like learning and personal growth and stuff like that. So I don't trust a no regrets Andy, okay? My regret from college for sure, even though I had a good experience, I wish that I went to class more and studied more. I still graduated. I never failed a class, graduated on time, graduated with honors. But I basically, at the time, 4 years of concerted effort seemed like that's a Herculean task. You're like, oh, that's a, I started undergrad when I was 17. So I was like, that's a quarter of my life to like focus on one goal, something I had never done in my entire life before. That seems crazy. Looking back, the rest of your life is probably going to be like working hard. If anything, if you work yourself hard in college and still have fun, don't get me wrong, because you can't avoid it. But if you work yourself hard in college, you'd probably set yourself up to maybe either work a little less hard as an adult over the next 35, 40 years, or be more comfortable with the work that you're doing, you know? That's just my 2 cents. I wish that I went to class. There were some times where it was like, you know, we'd throw a rager on Wednesday, and then I wouldn't wake up for my Thursday morning classes. Mom, Dad, don't listen. I think that's totally fine. But then there were some times where I just played Civilization 4 until like 3 a.m. and then just like didn't even set an alarm for my lecture. Those ones, I could have gotten 5.5 hours of sleep, gone to the lecture, done better, and maybe not left myself in like an educational no man's land where it was like too book smart to have people offer me blue collar work, but not good enough grades to suckle at the teat of academia for the rest of my adult life. You know what I mean? I went to class, but there were definitely some classes I skipped for no reason. And then there were some classes I skipped for good reasons. Hang on, we have to lose real quick first. But we could lose with a level 3 man drill. Now we're talking. So true. Too smart for the dumbs, too dumb for the smarts. Well, that's the thing, and I don't even mean this to be like braggadocious to myself. I think I was smart enough for the smarts. I just didn't work hard at the time when I should have worked the hardest. Because you don't appreciate it at the time. Stegosaurus. Give one random friend without food perk +1 and +1. Multiply with turn number. We can get ourselves out of this. You can stay. You go, because we want to buff the porcupine if possible. If you buff the mandrill, that's okay. It's not ideal, but it's okay. 2 chocolates next round. It's going to be a 9-9. I mean, it's pretty sizable. Yeah, but now you're doing well as a streamer. Yeah, but it's like, I think it's backwards to attribute that to like anything but pure happenstance. Like, that was a miracle. Because nobody could have seen that coming. That's like saying I regret, not studying in university because it was like a missed opportunity. And you're like, yeah, but you won the lottery. Yeah, but those two things don't have anything to do with one another. I could have won the lottery and studied in university. If anything, it would only benefit you more. It would be like a bad beam. How's your locus of control? It's pretty good. I had a good weekend. I spent a lot of time at the playground. With or without your kid? With my kid. Except for like an hour, she got lost, but then I found her. I'm joking. You being a degen in university paved the way for your banter? No, here's the thing. You guys are underestimating me. This is enabling a weak attitude. I could have degened in university, still gotten a lot of funny stories, built my own character, and then also gone to lectures, like, you know, more often. I have friends in university who were degenning right alongside me, got great marks, graduated, got their masters, graduated, got a PhD, now they work in private industry. Probably have too high security clearance, that's why they don't talk to me anymore. Yeah, playing, what do you mean playing Civ 6 until 4 a.m.? Civ 6, you think I'm like 14 years old? Civ 4. Civ 6. I wish. Okay, give me, I should have leveled you up earlier. I got invested in my own story. Sell me, place me, freeze me. I think this is a triple freeze. I think we're getting a 10-piece here. Degen and getting a master's. Listen, again, this is, you want to talk about streaming, like, or streamers not knowing anything? I'm like the perfect definition. I'm just at least self-aware. I didn't get a master's, but all my friends who got a master's told me that the master's was like the easiest part of university. Getting a PhD is really hard. Getting your undergrad degree is like, you know, can be somewhat challenging, but getting your master's is just sort of like showing up and helping out with lab work and TAing. And then 2 years later, they're like, here's your master's. That's just secondhand knowledge, okay? I didn't get a master's, so I don't know. But I could, right? Like, for med school, it's like if you want to apply to med school when you're like 22 years old, you have to have like the highest marks in your class. You have to, you know, ace the MCATs, all that stuff. But then, like, as a mature student, don't you just have to, like, be 30? I thought that was, anytime I saw, like, the requirements for getting into an advanced degree, it was always like, if you're 19 years old, you need to be, like, a aspiring astronaut. Or, alternatively, if you ran a bakery for 11 years, you're in. Kind of. Well, I haven't run a bakery, so I guess the point is sort of moot, but... Okay, I'm going to pill you. I'm happy with my Storka. I'm not saying running a bakery isn't hard, okay? Knockout, activate, faint abilities. What if we tried this right here? Maybe it could be an Egyptian vulture week this week. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. You've activated the Storka. That didn't seem that good, but I'm gonna chalk that up to, never mind, it worked beautifully. That actually is pretty true for med school. Dude, let's go. New IRL stream, I go to med school. Bro, penicillin is like literally OP. Sorry, I'm trying to do my impression. What's funny is I do an impression of talking like a streamer, but I already talk like a streamer. But people keep +2ing it for reasons unbeknownst. Can I get something good? There's nothing good? That's the joke? Okay, you're gone. And honestly, you're taking one of these. There's a woman singing very poorly in the Starbucks next to me. Chat, am I the asshole if I move? Okay, let me, just hang on. Woman singing very poorly. I don't, so like you're in the Starbucks. So, because when you said the Starbucks next to me, I thought you were like in a building across the street and she was smelly catting and you could hear her from where you're at, which would be very surprising. Like that would, then she'd be really loud. If she's next to you and singing, is she singing like with headphones plugged into her laptop in a public place? You're definitely not the asshole if you move. It's not new, but it's certainly my opinion that people are, oh, summon a bus? It's certainly my opinion that people are too free doing whatever they want to do in public. Like, we live in a society goes both ways. By which I mean to say, holy cow, you destroyed me. Like, part of living in a society is like you don't get the death penalty for singing in public. But another part of living in a society is you like, unless otherwise avoidable, you endeavor not to deliberately irritate people in public places. Singing in a Starbucks, unless you have like an acoustic guitar and they asked you to sing, is that's undermining the silence that serves as the foundation for creativity, in my opinion. But I'm also, and Chad is, they vary on this one, so I already know that this is maybe not going to be my most popular take. I'm an anti-whistler as well. Now, you're going to say something like, whistling is fun, and that's true. But it's fun for you to whistle. It's not fun for other people to hear your off-key whistling. Like, I know that you, when you whistle, you're like, you're like the support in your MMO raid guild. You're like, I'm giving everybody around me a mood buff. But actually, like, everybody else has AirPods in. But the people that don't have AirPods in are like, I really wish this dude would stop whistling. It's a debuff, because you're like trying to remember the stuff you got to get at the grocery store, and all you hear is... And also, whistlers never whistle the whole song. They always just whistle like the hook or the chorus over and over. And it's just annoying. I know I'm a good whistler. Because I was annoying the crap out of people nonstop when I was whistling as a kid. Tomo does not like it. Anyway. Do you know what it's like for me? If anything, you should trust me about whistling related issues, because to hide my gift from the planet as one of the greatest whistlers of all time it's taken a lot of strength, okay? If I can do it, you can do it too. You're going to get pilled, but not yet. Not yet. We should probably go monkey, honestly. In that case, it should happen right now. Pill me, give me something good. Give me something good. Okay, sell everything. Mouth. This can work. This can work, right? We should buff the Doberman. Monkey's a tier 5? Yeah. Gang gang. So true. I'm sorry. I can't cancel Pinky Doll for going to Hollywood. I support SAG-AFTRA, but it's very funny. I'm sorry. You're not gonna get me to do it. This is kings supporting queens as far as I'm concerned. I think that she should get an exemption from the union to be able to work. Why? Because it's funny, I think. Because it's humorous. Hang on, you come out here. How have you been handling the writer's strike? I told the same joke about piss like 100 times already in the stream so far. It's, the writer's room, I thought that I was one of the good ones, because when the strike started, I sent them an email that said, I support you guys. And listen, I'm going to be a little incommunicado because there's no internet on the Disney cruise. But I just want you to know that I'm rooting for you. And here's a $50 gift certificate to Domino's Pizza. Should last you for the week. And then I came back and everything was a mess. Not a miss. I mean like physical mess. That's like one pizza. Excuse me, it's Domino's. It's like 5 pizzas. It's just that none of them are good. Yeah, I'm back on my hater arc. Why? Because I've told my Domino's experience in the past. When I was a kid, Domino's sucked. Then they changed the recipe and it was good for a bit. And then I got it like 3 weeks ago and it was pure ass again. It's like they've been riding the high of the new recipe for too long and they've gotten back to the regression now. Just one man's opinion, okay? Hang on, I'm goated. For $20, they give you all the food in the store. It all sucks shit, and it's just different permutations of bread. That's what I'm saying. Always, like, seeing other people's Domino's orders always drives me crazy. Because they'll order, like, a large pizza, and then they'll be like, oh, yeah, for an appetizer, can I get exactly the same thing, but just with no sauce? Can I get, like, some cheesy breadsticks? You know what? You're not always in the mood to like eat a whole slice of pizza. Sometimes you like to eat a slice of pizza minus the sauce. And then for dessert, you're like, can you take off the cheese and the sauce and just put on like some cinnamon sugar instead? Were you always this quick-witted? No, I had to develop it because real quickly, like in life, you learn your place. And I think it was pretty clear, like, as a young kid, that, like, I mean, when we're building, like, a snow fort, I'm not getting the snow. You're Doberman! I'm not getting the bricks of snow, okay? And I'm not, I'm definitely not the person in charge of choosing how the snow fort gets built. I'm not in charge of delegating. I'm not in charge of placing the bricks or using my ambient body heat to cause the bricks to melt together, thus increasing the structural integrity of the fort. I'm the guy who is like, while we're scraping the snow, I'm telling jokes to keep everybody's morale up. So I think I developed, it's a skill like anything else, you know. I think I developed quick-wittedness as a defense mechanism for feeling useless in like other avenues of my life. You know, everybody figures out how they can spec to help out the society. And that was my contribution. Not the most valuable guy on the squad, that much is obviously known. I'm betting on myself. Oh. All right, all right. But this was like a much more valuable skill, by the way, like before everybody had headphones. Because like I feel like okay, I think we could have done better. Like, if I was born in, like, the 1890s, I think I could have been one of the most popular guys at the construction site. Because when you're up there, you know, I don't know what they're doing, bending rebar, mashing girders together or something like that. Even if a guy kind of sucks at mashing the girders, you would be like, hey, tell that joke again about Ryan, tell that joke again. It probably wouldn't be called Ryan. I'd probably be called like Joey or something. Hey, Joey, tell the joke again about how they keep putting the juice in the rectangular containers. And I'm like, how am I supposed to get it out of the corners, boss? They'd be like, hey, Joey, you fucking idiot. You fucking suck at construction, but I love you. I love you, Joey. But nowadays, I feel like if I worked at a construction site, I would be like, hey guys, you notice how juice comes in? Then like nobody would look at me because they'd all have AirPods and they'd all be listening to the Joe Rogan Experience. Like they've antiquated my role. They outsourced it to Spotify. Maybe like a silver gem. You would have tippy-toe walked off the iron. Yeah, like if I was involved in the construction of the Empire State Building, I would not be here right now. I would well, I mean, obviously I'd be dead due to old age at a minimum, but I definitely would have fallen off the skyscraper. My balance is not that good. So true. They would have loved my whistling too. Hey Joey, can you do Cape Town races? Sure, boss. A small gust of wind has blown me off a 60th floor girder that I was sitting on. Doesn't really work because of the echo. It keeps it sounding like roughly the same. But I was trying. Okay, the game's broken. Servers died. Job's gone. It's kind of it's kind of nice though with the sound of the waves, huh? Hey, Mad Dog, thank you by the way. Thank you for the gifted subscriptions. It's just that easy. People will be like, "Oh, nobody wants to work these days." Just absolve Mad Dog of the guilt for moving away from someone who's being annoying in the coffee shop, and then receive 50 gifted subscriptions. You can purchase my course at x.com. Did you actually, so people earlier said, did you see any crazy TikTok finance stuff recently? No, I did not, is what I said. But then I did see the post that was the dude selling courses on how to like become financially independent by buying a staggering amount of rental units. And then people were like, what does your business look like right now? And the dude was like, we're taking in, I don't know, I forget what he said, but it was something like $18,000 a month in gross revenue. And then people said, what's your net? And he was like, $2,200. So the dude is like leveraged up. He's got 12 mortgages to clear like a minimum wage salary every month with so much added risk. And he's selling courses on how to be like a realtor. It's crazy, man. That's not good. I feel like you could just, like there's some work involved in being a landlord. It's not zero. You at least got to cash the checks, right? I feel like at some point, I think I'd rather just work a job than cash 11 checks. I don't know. I have to think about that one. But anyway. Something's not right with the way they're running their business. Let's put it that way. It's all online these days? Really? I think Canada, I don't know. Here's the thing. You might see it as being behind the times, but I see it as being charmingly traditional. We still use checks to pay some stuff here. When we rented, we used checks. When we signed on for a year of daycare, we used checks. I kind of like it. Because you know, like, when you pay for something, that it's going to annoy the person that charged you. Which is why I still send checks to the Canada Revenue Agency when I pay quarterly tax installments. Because I'm like, if it hurts me, it's going to hurt you too. I get that they're like, they don't care. They don't care. They probably, I bet they care. I bet they care a little bit. I bet they care. I don't know. I just, listen, I like a check. Don't, if you want to cancel me or whatever. Oh, every checkbook you use is 1/8 of a maple tree. Okay, then freaking plant 8 more. Duh. Trees are like the only things that grow on trees. Mouth, don't listen. I win these. It takes forever to grow trees? Well, they should have planted them a while ago, in my opinion. Or right now. Because right now is tomorrow's forever ago, according to Bon Iver. Some of that. Honestly, I think you're no good. I also think you're not that good, which means we could try this. Holy cow, he's going to the moon. Zoom, zoom, zoom. We're going to the moon. If you want to take a trip, climb aboard, and I quote, my rocket ship. Zoom, zoom, zoom. We're going to the moon. What are the question marks for? These are simple songs for toddlers. By the way, I think I'm on the verge. I don't think it's insane. I think it's very sane, but it sounds insane. I think I am on the verge of starting to become that guy who talks to people at the park. And I'll tell you why. Not everybody here is from Vancouver, and people that are from Vancouver might have a different view of things. I think we live in a pretty antisocial city, for the most part. Seems you always see posts on r/Vancouver that are like, it's hard to make friends here. People flake out all the time. And I enjoyed that before I had kids. We had plans to go camping with another family who has kids that are the same age as our daughter. We had a double campsite booked. We had a Google sheet. Everybody was coordinating stuff. And then like 2 days before we left for the camping, they were like, we can't go, we're sick. I believe that they were sick, but I would also be lying if 11 years of living in Vancouver didn't have me thinking like, what, maybe before we go camping, we'll just swing by your place with like some bone broth and be like, knock, 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 motherfuckers. Let's see if you are actually sick. Hey, we got you some bone broth because we heard you guys are sick. Wait a minute, you're all wearing swim trunks. Anyway, I assume that they were actually, so I have no reason to believe that they just flaked on us. But I'm saying it's a Vancouver classic, and I've done it myself because sometimes you'll be like, yeah, I'll be there. And then on Saturday, you're like, no shot. Sorry, I'm just a little under the weather. Oh, get well soon, get well soon. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'm going to take her easy. Glug, 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 glug. Rick and Morty on the TV. Anyway. But for me, I don't care because I enjoy my own company. I'll listen to music, listen to podcasts, go for a walk, whatever. But I want my daughter to socialize with kids that are roughly her same age. You know, kids that are somewhere between 1 and like 5 right now. So at the park, that's like the main way that I am introduced to people who have kids that are roughly the same age as my daughters. But it's actually like more nerve-wracking than being like a teenager and trying to ask someone out on a date. It's to go up to like another parent at the park and be like I am going to try to become friends with you, but really to try to set it up so that like your kid and my kid can just play around. And we can both sit on a bench and look at our phones. Part of it is in my own head, because I always feel like when I talk to somebody at the park, I have to like walk up and be like, that's my kid. Just I'm like, I'm not here by myself. I'm not here by myself. That's my kid right there. The one who just fell down and scraped her knee. Because I wasn't paying attention. I pay attention. How's he doing? This weekly is easy so far. This is my best run on the weeklies. Shut up, okay? I'm in the middle of something. I'm building a bit. Don't shut up. Thank you for your comment. Isn't it the norm that if your kids are playing, you can approach the parents? Well, listen, it's tough, okay? Maybe it's the norm, but I think it's 50-50. There's a couple of things too, okay? Because like a lot of people with kids my daughter's age now have like 2 kids, which necessitates both parents going to the park a lot of the time. So like it's not my strong suit, but I don't mind walking up to like another dad and then being like, you know, hey, did you see the score last night or whatever? Like it happens all the time. But like walking up to a couple as an individual is like an extra step because I'm like, you've already got that built-in socialization. And then the other thing is, and I don't blame myself for this because that requires gazing inwards. I blame society. I don't feel comfortable walking up to like a mom at the park and striking up a conversation. Just because there's a lot of bad guys out there, and I'm not one of them, but she might think I'm one. I mean, how could she not? How could she know? How could she know? She'd be like, this asshole walked up to me at the park yesterday, asked if I saw the score, and then went, I'm not weird, that's my kid over there, and just pointed to a random half-Asian child. Yeah, okay. Dude, you're pale and you have no hair. Human resources? It's probably like in my head or whatever, though. Maybe. Okay, this is how we go to the moon this week. Then, no, overriding equipment is good. You should be pilled at some point. You should definitely stick. You're going to get pilled right now is what you're going to do. Level 3 deer? That's kind of sick with it. You're not good enough anymore, and you are. This is the way. So my daughter, every once in a while on YouTube, she sees like this Lego channel, and they make Lego videos of major media properties. I don't know why I phrased it like such a Poindexter. No wonder I can't make any friends. But she watches this one that's like Grogu's Day in the Snow. And it's like the Mandalorian flies and lands the ship and then falls asleep. And Grogu goes out in the snow and makes like a big snowball and then it falls on his head. She loves watching it. She'll watch it like, it's a minute long. She'll watch it like 22 times in a row. And she knows who Grogu is because Grogu is our Disney Plus avatar. So she'll say, who's that? And I say, you know who that is. And then she goes, that's Grogu. And then she points at the... Tomo, you okay, buddy? She points at the Mandalorian and goes, who's this guy? And I say, that's the Mandalorian. And then she says, who do you like more, Grogu or Helmet Guy? And I say, I like Grogu more. And then she says, but I like Grogu more. And I say, okay, I like Helmet Guy. But then also, I told her that, like, we watched the 2nd season of The Mandalorian together when she was, like, a day old. Because we were waking up at 3 a.m. to bottle feed her. And, like, that was just happened to be coming out at that time on Disney Plus. And she was like, yeah, I watched it when I was a baby. I said, play Grogu show, play Grogu show. And I said, no, you frickin' did not. As a 4-day-old baby, you did not say play Grogu show. You went, wah, wah, wah. You okay, Tomo? He kind of jumped up like into the desk a little bit. Tomo, go sit on the bench back there. You would love it. Chat would love it. Everyone would love it. Nah. Well, I should be buying these. Sorry. You mean I owned her? I didn't own her. She was just telling lies. Papa. Well, it's tacos. Did you end up watching the bear? Nope. How'd you get the coconut? How'd you get the coconut? Whatever. We win these. What the heck are you? Oh, Meerkat. That's how you got it. Did you watch Oppenheimer? Nope. Probably see it one day. Give me a tier 6 toy. We're so back. On break, give friends a buff. Rightmost friend gets the peanut. Rightmost friend gets the coconut. I think a 2640 death touch could go kind of crazy. We only need it to work for 2 more rounds. Why don't you take one of these? Did you watch a 60-minute compilation of Elmo songs? No? I didn't really watch anything, honestly. I didn't watch anything this weekend. I mean, I was it's legit at the playground. I know that it's like me thinks the lady doth protest too much. But I'll tell you, Saturday, library, playground, lunch, 2-hour walk while she took a nap, dinner, bedtime. Yesterday, playground, lunch, drive out to Coquitlam to go to the Korean grocery store, eat an amazing meal, drive back, dinner. Wait, I'm trying to figure out. Playgrounds. Listen, I was doing a lot. I was not looking at screens this weekend, although I did play some Pokemon Go at the playground on Sunday because I was like, I just need a little bit of some stimulus. Some serotonin, exactly. What I should have been doing is making conversation with the other parents at the park. But one of the parents came to the park with like 4 fucking kids. And I was like, I can't have a conversation with this person. This is like just a civilian going up to talk to Iron Man or something like that. They're going to know I don't have anything to offer them. They brought the whole squad with them. Well, why not? Just give it a try. Tell me why the washer said 57 minutes. I came down 62 minutes later. This shit still says 10 minutes. Is actually one of the largest pet peeves that I have in my life is exactly what you're talking about right now. You know what it is, and chat's telling you right now in no uncertain terms. Holy cow, we never had the alpaca badge before. How embarrassing is that? Modern washing machines